statements from the head coach.
You know, we always pride ourselves of being a really tough defensive team. And, you know, it took everything that we had on offense, our discipline, our defense, our, you know, working extremely hard to win that game because Shaw gave us everything. Shaw played really, really well. You know, they had a good scheme. They got some really good players. They got a bench. So they took us to the limits, and we didn't fold, and we made the plays the last couple minutes of the game where games are won and lost, basically. And we've had a lot of those games. So, of course, you're always pleased when you get the win instead of loss, because I've gotten some losses early in the year on that, but we learned. So I was extremely happy for the players. What we went through this year, they deserved at least getting that Final Four and see where we go from there.
Yes, sir. And now we'll open it up for questions. Please state your media affiliation.
Hi, Coach Luke. Andrew Chapman, ESPN Plus. You guys played a team tonight that just had a lot of similarities to your own, the way you defend, the way you try and rebound. What's the difference maker down the stretch when you face a team with there are so many similarities to yours?
Basically, you trust your players. You know, I know Cress Worthy is a terrific player. I wouldn't trade him for anybody in the conference. And I know Caleb was a really good shooter, and he's a very good player. So that's why we got them involved late game. I knew they were going to make the right decisions. I think Cress was 10 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, 0 turnovers, which is terrific. Caleb made some really big shots, some rebounds. I trust the players and put them in position to be successful. That's the biggest thing. And, you know, and I like our team. So.
And one question for Cress as well. You've been in these big games in Baltimore going back to last year. And I don't know if you're processing it in the moment, final few possessions to make the right play, make the right pass, but how much does your experience in this tournament and being an upperclassman help you make the right decision in the right moment?
My work on the court, I pride myself on making the right decisions because here I kind of play like the combo guard. I play the 2 guard, and I can go to the 1. So my experience, playing in these big stages, it really prepared me. So I told these guys before the game, I was like, you know, I know you might be a little nervous, but I'm going to help y'all out because I'm experienced. I've been here. So I just try to be poised and execute the play Coach Luke draw up. And, you know, I just believe in myself and believe in my teammates to make the right play and step up and make a shot. And that's what we did tonight.
Caleb, too. Caleb, so you have the ability to kind of adapt your game as the game goes on, whether it's at the free throw line, rebounding. Tonight you were a three-point shooter with 7 of your 9 shots coming from beyond the arc. You know, what point in the game did you feel like, you know, I might have to be the guy that gets it done from 3? You know, I have to be the guy that hits the big shot. Was it when you hit the first one in the second half that you started to feel it?
No, it honestly goes back earlier to that when I got my teammates behind me and keep on encouraging me. Because in the second half, started off, I think I missed maybe 2 or 3, but they tell me to keep shooting it. So when you have a team that, you know, won't be behind you 100% regardless of what happens, it instills confidence in you. And you know that, hey, this next one, it's going to go in. That's all you got to think.
And we were telling them to shoot the ball because when we put these 2 in ball screens, they were double teaming Cress coming off that ball screen. So he's going to be open. And sometimes he turned down shots that was mad at him for not shooting it because he's a quality shooter. He's a really good shooter, especially in the clutch. He needs to shoot those, and he'll make them.
Hi, I'm Jalen Ivey, CIAA media intern. I have a question for the players. So can you guys just talk a little bit about coming out back at the second half and just kind of what changed the pace for you guys? And just to kind of, I guess, the conversations that were had on the court, because I know there were some fouls called. There were just a little bit of things that happened during the game that I guess kind of could have changed the pace and caused things to come out, well, the outcome to be a little bit different. So can you guys just talk a little bit about what that conversation was like on and off the court?
In the locker room at halftime, you know, we was down 1 point, and some guys were, you know, emotional, you know, about not getting foul calls and stuff, but we just keep telling each other, like, we just got to rely on our defense at the end of the day. You know, our offense is going to continue to flow, but if we could just lock in on our defense, help each other out, rebound, limit them to 1 shot, we give ourselves a chance every possession. So that's what we do. We really rely on our defense to really, like, help us. And that's what we've been doing all year, and that's why we're in this position right now.
You want Caleb to answer that too? Or? Okay, good.
I mean, I was going to answer. He summed it up pretty well, but, just to piggyback, Coach Luke been preaching defense all year. That's what it start with, and that's what it's going to end with, down the stretch. The defense win the games. So we just got to lock in and, play together, play strong defense, and then that's what's going to come out in the W.
Chris Clark, CBS 17. Good to see you again, Coach
see you, Chris.
D'Alessio and Chris and Caleb. Nice to meet you as well. I wanted to know about the confidence that you had in your squad to stay with the game plan when things weren't falling. Those three-pointers were going as far down as I could remember and still bouncing back out. What does that say about the confidence you've got in your team to keep that game plan and to make it work in the end there, Coach?
We had the toughest schedule in the region. So we had to go through a lot this year, a lot of pain, heartache, pain, you name it, and I wanted to get a lot of that stress out of the way early in the year, and we were tested, and we did pretty well. We came out pretty well, so by the time we got to the conference play, I thought we were a really, really good team. The thing is with us, we had to replace a lot of players, 4 starters from last year. Early in the season, I felt that we couldn't win without Crestworthy scoring 20 points a game. And until some other guys step up and become a real team, we weren't going to win games like this. And, so we evolved. So we had other guys step up, Tyler Foster, Caleb. Our bench was terrific today, by the way. Khalil Ridges, Tony Hauser, DJ Myers, they played tremendous today. And we have a deep team. And we have guys that are very unselfish, that the only thing they care about is winning basketball games. It's not easy to do because sometimes you care about your own stats, your own playing time, your own accolades. I try to instill team first no matter what you do, because down the road, 20, 30 years ago, you win a championship, you're always going to remember that. Nobody's going to remember who got what score or whatever, and that will last forever, with a person, honestly. And these guys have a chance that, they already did something that no other team did it. They won the Southern Division. That was big for us, and that's something that not even the team last year did. So I really believe in this team. I like the closeness of this team, and they're coachable, and I like these guys. We come here. What is your name? Jane. Jane. We walk in her. What conversation were they having? They weren't having about basketball. They're having the conversation, and she could tell you about what schoolwork they got to do tonight and tomorrow. And she was the wit. I'm not telling you, he's a 4.0 student. He's trying to graduate, and that was a conversation. Us coming down the hallway talking about schoolwork, and I'm telling them, well, you got excuse letters. They're supposed to excuse you, but I don't know if the teachers will or not, so you got to have to do the work. So that's the kind of guys we have, quality kids that they know, and I trust them in right situations on the court and off the court. And I'm really blessed for it, to tell you truthfully.
I had a follow-up for Caleb there. First CIAA tournament, the atmosphere, and I know you know about the competition. You've been in the league. What do you think about the atmosphere and what it's like playing up here in your first conference tournament?
Man, I love it. Can't even lie to you. I love it. Come from Division I, they did a little different in the conference I came from. Higher seed, you go to their place and play. But this right here, man, this is big. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to play in at the end of the year. And so my experience this year in CI is just, I love it. That's all I can say.
And one last one for Coach. When Chris took that last three, I saw your hand go up. It looked like your cheeks got a little flushed. That wasn't a no, yes after it went to the bucket, was it?
No, because I trust him. He's evolved in the 2 years with us, and the difference between him this year and last year, he's playing more point guard position, and so I trust him to make the right decisions. And like I said, I don't need him to score the 20 points a game. In the past, when they double team him, he tried to do too much, try to score, and he makes the right reads. So it's easy for me to make decisions what I got to do on the court, knowing that if they double team him, either he's going to score quick or he's going to find the right man, and he's not going to turn it over. And he plays defense on top of that, and he rebounds. He's about 9 rebounds and 9 assists for a guard, So, I trust him, and we have a really good relationship, the two of us. And he trusts us that I'm not going to tell him anything that it's going to hurt his game. Everything, and I push him now. I'm hard on him. He'll tell you that. My other players will tell you that too. My thing is, we try to always be the best disciplined team in the CIAA on offense and defense, and that's what wins you championships or games in a tournament setting. Because if you lose your discipline, you're not going to be able to win any games.
Hello, my name is Dutchy from Barstool Sports. Early in the second, I realized that y'all put Shaw U in the bonus. So is there anything that y'all want to do defensively moving forward within the tournament?
That's a tough one because, we're trying to play defense without fouling. We had some tough calls, but, the thing is, what I do with our players, I tell them, control what you can control. I can't control anything, what happens in a game with referees or anything else, but I can control whether you can make a foul shot. That's on you. Whether you can make a three-point shot, whether you can make the right read, whether you can play defense. So that's the things that we work on, just control what you can control, and then if you do that, we're talented enough and disciplined enough to win games.
And as that was our last question, this press conference has come to an end. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, God.
Too bad I'm sorry that you guys had to stay so late. But it wasn't as late as last night. Phew.
Good evening. Welcome to the 2023 CIAA Postgame Press Conference. My name is Taisha Lindsay, your moderator for today. Joining us is head coach Bobby Collins for school Shaw University with player number 2, Jason Robinson, and number 11, Shane Siago. Before we open it up for questions, we'll have an open statement from head coach Bobby Collins.
Well, Fayetteville State, first of all, is a very good basketball team. They're well coached. They're very disciplined. And they're the defending champions. And I'm extremely proud of the effort that our young men gave tonight. We could have quit several times when they went up 5, 6, 7, and we were able to get back into the game. But when you have a player like Chris Worthy that is a leader, that is a player, I think he was involved in the last 2 plays that helped them win the game tonight. And we just knew that we needed to get a couple of more stops. I was very proud of the intensity and the effort that our guys gave. Especially in the beginning of the game. And unfortunately, we were favored in the end.
Yes, sir. And now we'll open up for questions. Please state your media affiliation.
Stephen Gaither, HBCU Game Day. Coach, you guys fought them tooth and nail, to the very end. It's... you hold Chris Worthy to 10 points, and you think, you probably got a good chance of winning the game. But just talk about, what you guys were able to do on your end, defensively to keep them, under control and, give yourselves a chance to win at the end of the game.
Yes, early we did a very good job of taking the ball out of his hands and making other guys make plays. And they had a couple of guys to make a couple of plays, and they got the lead. But we were able to get back in it. But Chris Worthy he's just a very, very good basketball player. And when he has the ball in his hands, he makes good things happen most of the time. And the one thing that I thought about him is that he could have easily forced a shot or took a bad shot, but he trusts his teammate at the end of that game and penetrated and kicked. And that's when he knocked down a 3 and kind of pretty much sealed the game. And then
for Shane, I know I saw you guys play Fayetteville State in Fayetteville back in December, and you had a really good game against them, 13 points tonight. Just talk about coming into the game, how you felt like you guys could have some more success against them, and how you guys were able to do so.
I thought it came down to us scoring in the paint early, trying to assert our dominance. Felt like we could have did a little better rebounding, but other than that, I feel like that's really what it came down to, points in the paint.
And then lastly, Coach, I know this is year 2 for you here at Shaw. You rebuilt the program and trending up this year versus last year. Just talk about you've been around this league for a long time. The level of talent that's in there now, and what it requires for you guys to get to that next level, to where you guys are. You guys are.
Well, I'm glad you said that. We have 7 to 8 new players on that team, and 7 of those 8 young men didn't play last year. So we building the program from ground up. Of course, when I got to Shaw, there was only 1 player remaining from the previous team. So I'm proud at where we are. Of course, we didn't want to lose tonight. We wanted to get to that championship game and give it everything we had. But I'm extremely proud of how hard we fought. And these young men representing Shaw University with all the effort that they had tonight. And I told them, I said, after the game, I want you guys to be exhausted. And when I went in the locker room, I could see that the guys that were on the court was exhausted.
Chris Clark, CBS 17. This one's for Shane. I wanted to ask you about the season and as a whole, actually, from when you started playing, from when beginning of the year to more playing time, more reps, and in key situations coming on. If you would just take us back through the year and how much you've improved to get to this point to be able to score those crucial buckets down the stretch.
Actually, I came in December. I had some stuff I had to figure out, but I started a little late, but it kind of felt weird at first, you know, stepping on the court. I haven't played organized ball in over a year. And but I just, every day I compete, try to compete for my team. We got a great group of guys, a lot of guys that can do a lot of things, but just try to compete and hope for the best.
And for you as well. I know this is, you know, the end, but to lay the foundation, the groundwork for what's to come, how does that make you feel to be able to put in the time and to set the standard, if you would, for the future of this program for Coach Collins?
I mean, every day I just came in and compete. I mean, try to make the people behind me, like Dravion Scott and Kobe Jones, they got so they be better next year for Coach. I know they you should just they got some big things coming out of them. You should just be ready for them. I just compete every day and make them better, just as well they made me better.
And the one good thing I can say about these two young men is that they have great character. And we're going to build off these young men and build off Shane. And I know Jason's going to be successful in life. I know he has aspirations of going to the next level. But he's a great young man with great character, so the sky's the limit for both these young men.
As that was our last question, this is the end of the press conference. Thank you.
Thank you.